Mugen Racing, and today I'm going to talk about front toe. In most cases, this is, I think, often overlooked, but it's a very powerful tuning option that will just allow you to kind of get that feel with the steering for what you like. So pretty much in all conditions, I feel you should always run just a slight amount of toe out in the front, at least as a starting point. If you end up running toe in, it will make the steering very unpredictable and just have a really vague feel around center. And then usually on throttle, it will kind of, the front end will overpower the rear end and make it have a little bit of a loose feeling. So I suggest starting with 1 to 2 degrees of toe out per side. And if you are to increase the amount of toe out that you have in the front, it will kind of have a little bit like sharper, more crisp, reactive feel around center. But then as you get into the middle of the corner, it'll have a smoother feel and actually help carry more speed because you don't have that outside tire turning so far and scrubbing speed or grabbing bumps. Another thing that you should consider though, if you're making adjustments on the fly to the toe in the front, is if you make a substantial change, you'll need to reset your endpoints because you're changing the length of the steering rod, so it can slightly affect your overall endpoint from right to left. So something to check just to make sure, but front toe is, again, very powerful, very easy adjustment to make that can have a very big impact on the feeling of the steering for your vehicle.
What's up, Nitro Nation? Well, you heard the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Adam Drake. Something that's overlooked, that you don't hear about. The reason that I showed you guys that, because I had a, by the way, welcome all newbies, middies, oldie but goodies, chuggy maniacs, welcome all buggy maniacs, muggy maniacs, or like I call my chuggy on steroids here, the XTM. Welcome all new subscribers. Anyway, the legend himself, Adam Drake, who I call the Dale Earnhardt of RC. One of my, a subscriber, a newbie, I think he's a newbie, I don't know if he's a newbie. Hell, I don't even know if he's a new subscriber or not. But anyway, his name is Big Mess 51, I believe. He asked me, hey, I noticed that your whips have a pretty wide toe out. I mean, if you look at this is the MBX 7 RT race truggy. Okay, so it's not no scrub whip, it's no RTR, it's a race kit. Okay, and if you look at my Techno, they have a pretty wide toe out. Now, he said 1 to 2 degrees. Mine's probably a little bit more than that. But that's the way that I set mine. Because, you know, I watched his videos and when he explained that, it made sense. And that's why I set them like that. And my videos, my whips handle pretty crisp. I like the way they handle, and that's, you know, you do what you want, set it how you want. Like I said, most people that do a 1 to 2 degree. Mine's probably like 3 to 4, probably a little bit more. I have a lot of toe out, but that's the way I run my whips. But anyway, that's one of the main reasons that I even got a Mugen. Okay, was because of that guy right there. Alright, he's a legend. Everybody knows, or doesn't know. If you don't know, he ran with TLR for many, many, many years. Okay, until he, you know, he knew that Horizon, which owns TLR, was not going in the direction. They weren't on the same page. Okay, so he got out while the getting was good. You know the old expression, get out while the getting's good? Well, he seen that TLR and Losi, and he seen the Horizon was taking Losi into the ground, so he was like, peace, I'm out. And then he left, and Mugen picked him up. I mean, TLR, they didn't want to, you know, there's a lot of different stories. I've you know, not talked to Adam personally. I know guys that know him personally. And the whole thing was, it just, TLR didn't want, I mean, Horizon didn't want to give him a lot of the freedom and control that he had, and they didn't want to go in the same direction. I don't know why they would even consider not giving a legend like that, okay, free reign and do what he wants, and you know, let him to just continue to continue to take Losi to the next level. Maybe Horizon didn't want Losi to go to the next level. I don't know. I don't know if it was all Horizon's fault or all Losi's fault. Like I said, there's a lot of different stories, but the bottom line is, he was, like I said, he was like, Adam was like, I'm out. He was gone. He left. And it was a shame, because Losi, that was the last time that Losi, I mean, Adam Drake brought Losi the championships that they have, and since then, Losi's never been the same. And everybody knows all Horizon did was continue to discontinue shit. They don't give a shit about racing. Okay, so when I got into, you know, when all this was going on, was about the time that I was, you know, getting seriously into nitro. So, and when Adam Drake, you know, I knew that Adam Drake was going to be with Mugen. I mean, that's all he had to tell me. Oh, Adam Drake, he's not with Losi, he's with Mugen? All right, I'm there, man. Peace out, Losi. You know, here we go, Mugen. And the thing that made one of the that helped me make a decision was not just because Adam was going over to Mugen, was because of, that's the support. I mean, if you ever need to know anything about Mugen, about your truggy, about your buggy, I mean, not only are they're like completely not even on the same page as a TLR. Comparing a TLR to a Mugen, it's like comparing apples to oranges. It's like comparing, I don't know, comparing a Toyota to a Chevy. You know? Not that Toyotas aren't bad, and I'm not saying that Losis are bad and TLRs aren't bad. They're great vehicles. Mr. Zaz he took it, you know, at a time, that 4.0 kit to different heights. You know? But you can only go so far when you don't got a company, when you don't have any support. Losi doesn't have any support except for Horizon. And Horizon's not even a hobby company. And I think I mentioned this before. Do your homework, don't take my word. Horizon they're a distribution company. They're a distributor, that's it. They just distribute shit. And if it's not distributing as much as they think or want, they discontinue it. That's why they discontinued the MTXL. That's why they discontinued the 4.0. Okay? I mean, if I did own a Losi or a 4.0, I wouldn't even be running it. I would do like John Bodegel did. I would retire that thing, put it on the shelf because it's discontinued and don't make it anymore. And I'm sure there's tons of parts. There's tons of parts still available for the 4.0, but it's a thing of it's old news now. There's no development in it anymore. They're done. And you know, whether they're going to come out with a 8X truggy, I don't know. I hope I'm wrong, like I said in the past, but I doubt it. I have connections and people that work for A-Main. I know people that work for Horizon. Okay? Guys that race and stuff. You know? And, I mean, personally, I don't think they're going to come. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong. Okay? Because it would be sad for all the TLR and Losi, you know, fan base, or, you know, the diehard Losi guys like Mr. Zai and other people, for Horizon to have the final decision on whether, you know, Losi has a new truggy or not. You know, and the 8X, you know, I know guys that built that thing. it's not all it's cracked up to be. Why do you think that Dakota Fenn for TLR Racing hasn't been able to do shit with it? They've had that thing out for way over a year now, you know, and they still can't figure it out. I mean, it's completely changed. You know, they're still messing with it. So until they can completely figure that thing out, they either will or won't come out with a truggy. So anyway, Adam Drake was one of the decisions, and again, Mugen has a proven track record and continues to develop, and develop and continue to go in, you know, next level. And Adam Drake, as long as he's with Mugen, Mugen will continue to advance and progress and so forth. Not just in racing. I mean, yeah, he does race, and, you know, a lot of people will say, well, who cares about what racing and stuff like that? Well, I'm race inspired. I don't know about you. So if you're race inspired, then you might want to go by what some of these guys that race say. Because if these guys are racing these truggies and buggies, these, you know, all of these whips, if they're not figuring things out and developing it, well, guess what? We're not going to have anything. They're the ones that decide whether that thing even comes out, whatever it is that might be, you know, new on it or whatever. I know Techno's going to be coming out with a new buggy shortly here, from what I hear. Don't know when, but, you know, and then they'll be coming out with another truggy. I mean, these vehicles are, you know, and I'm not just saying this, don't get me wrong, because I own them. But I got these vehicles because these vehicles, Mugen, Techno, you know, other companies, even Associated, these are companies that are going in the right direction. They're advancing in technology. They're the wave of the future. Not Losi. TLR is not the wave of the future. Losi's just hanging on to, you know, by dear life, and hopefully they don't discontinue the whole thing. As long as Horizon is in control of TLR and Losi, the fate of 8th scale nitro and 5th scale gas, as far as TLR and Losi, the fate of that is in the hands of, excuse my language, a fucked up, money-hungry company like Horizon. I don't have to worry about Mugen. Mugen's ain't going nowhere. Especially, like I said, because Adam Drake, he's the one that's always developing. I mean, that guy always does videos. There ain't nobody doing videos for Losi. I mean, John at one time, but John's not, he's moved on, you know? I think maybe that might be part of the reason he's even selling his muggy to me, because that muggy, that thing was like a prized possession to him. And I asked him, but he never really answered, and I still don't know why he wants to sell it. I wouldn't be surprised if he eventually sold his 4.0 and his buggy. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but I mean, who knows? I never thought he would even sell the muggy. He went through a lot to get it, you know. So that, you know, just to give you guys an idea, that's where I got, because people ask me why Mugen, you know, why Techno, because these are the future. It's not Losi. TLR is not the future of 8 scale nitro. I'm sorry. Sorry to rain on your parade for all you Losi guys out there. It's just facts. It is what it is. Horizon is not going to put another dime, and they haven't in a while, into racing and developing for Team Losi at all. If they were, they wouldn't have discontinued the 4.0 in the first place, which I still can't get my head wrapped around why they discontinued it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they discontinued the RTR Losi kit and the buggy. And like I said before, I think they're going to discontinue the 5T and the 5B. They're more concerned about the eword, not nitro. Because to them, there's so many lazy, excuse my language again, fuckers out there that'd rather do the eword. There's more money in it for Horizon. That's what they look at it. That, why would they even mess with nitro? In their mind. Okay? So anyway, I mean, support meant a lot to me, and that's why I got a Mugen. And, you know, Techno, same thing. I mean, the Techno is on the map. They're still new. They haven't been around for too long, and they're winning, and they're developing, and just they're going, you know, they're gearing up for the future. Okay? TLR isn't. Losi isn't. You know? If I even got a 4.0, it would be just to collect, just to have it, because they don't make them anymore. You know? That's the only reason I would even get one. You know? And like I said, I'm not saying that they're bad whips. I mean, the 4.0 is a great vehicle. Like I said, I don't even understand why they discontinue. That's beyond me. You know. But anyway, so I did some. That's my take, and you know, because I get people all the time that ask me, you know, why Mugen, or you know, why don't you have a low C? You know, I just also wasn't the guy, because everybody else was getting low C, was going to jump on the low C bandwagon. You know, and I had a lot of reasons not to get a low C, and very little reason to get one. So let me put you guys on my little stand here. I know my camera work sucks. Yeah, I know, Muggy, you need to get a freaking... Oh, shoot. Sorry about that, people. Need to get a real camera. Stop messing with your phone. I was just talking to Elite RC today, and he was telling me the same thing. He's all, hey, you need to get some real professional camera equipment. I said, I know, I hear it all the time. He even asked me, he goes, quit messing around with that music, trying to spice it up. Me and Elite talked for a while, and it was funny because when me and Elite were talking, he was testing his new, I don't know if you guys have seen his latest video, his dragster, fifth scale dragster, and he was having some issues with it. I think it was his flywheel that he was having issues with. But anyway, so I went to do some brapping with the MBX Mugen, okay, TR race truggy here, and the next level, if you want to go next level, here you go right here. Bam! Modified, not stock, modified by RB Mods, Novorossi 28.8 Rex Legend. But first you got to get a next level platform, which would be a race kit. Whether it's a Mugen, whether it's a Techno, or whether even if it's a 4.0 Losi, or an Associated, a race kit. No RTRs. The RTR isn't next level. That's, like I said before, that's scrub stuff. And not that scrub shit's a bad thing. It's, you know, it's you know, it's to learn on. It's what the RTR is for. It's for the person, the newbie, the rookie, whatever you want to call them. I call them scrub, to learn. But anyway, so I'm talking to Elite, and he was like, yeah, you know, I'm testing this and that. And I said, yeah, man, you know, I wish you could say that every time you go out to do some running or some brapping or whatever, that everything goes all smooth. Goes all, you know, peaches and cream, so to speak. Well, so I get out there, I start brapping around a little bit, you know, I got it warmed up, and I'm just getting ready to, because I was heating it up, and I started it up, and I was getting ready to film, and lo and behold, another Savox takes a shit. And it's a good thing I didn't get into running, because when your steering servos go bad on you, I mean, when you have your throttle servo, not your steering servo, your throttle servo, which is what this one was hooked up to, my throttle, sometimes your shit can lock up, and that's how I've had it happen. You get a runaway, and that's no bueno. And by the way, I've mentioned before, I've had this thing run away, my MBX5R race buggy, Mugen, get away from me. I've had the 7RT race truggy get away from me because of switch issues. That's why, you know, I don't run switches anymore. If you guys are still running switches and you haven't had any problems, well, you know, to each his own. Whatever works for you. I don't run them anymore. I've had people say, well, you don't want to run your battery straight into your receiver because you can burn it out. Well, if you don't know what you're doing, I guess you could. I've never had a problem with it. I run my my battery straight in to my receiver. That way there is zero chance of failure, because I'm not depending on a switch or anything. So I run my like I said, I run my battery, my life battery. I don't deal with no lipo shit. Straight into my receiver. I just pop off my, yeah, it's a little bit more work, you know. Instead of having a switch, you're going to switch it on and off. I just run it straight in to my receiver. Now, one quick note. If you have a radio tray like this, I think Hypers are like that. I know Muggins are. I don't know what other vehicles are. I just know how mine are. If you have it where the problem that I have with the Fly Sky, the IT, the FS IT4S, which is this puppy here. By the way, it's a great radio. I love this radio. The only problem is, because there's so much going on because of all the telemetries and everything, and when I ran it in the 7 before, in here before, because I got an extra receiver. I've got 2 of them. They went bad on me. When you've got all that shit going on, and me and Elite talk, because I didn't even consider this. Elite's all, well, you know what's probably happening, why you're having problems, is because look at where your receiver is on your Mugen. If you look at where it's back by the motor. So what happens is all the heat that's being generated off of the motor here is heating up back here, and because that receiver has so much shit going on, you know, the sensors and everything, that it's affecting it. So, and I put this one, which I run this is another great radio, especially if you're a newbie and you can't afford a lot. This is the best. And I remember Mr. Zai used to make a lot. He used to make fun of this thing. He really didn't care for it. Now he runs his shit and his fit scales. You know, he still has his Futaba 7P whatever, and you know, $700 radio, but he even said that he likes these things now. You know, and he didn't before. But this is the GS or the FS GT3B. Okay, great radio, and I've never had any issues with that. So I put that in here, and no matter how hot it gets, I don't have issues anymore. And I tried it again another time, putting the other Fly Sky in here, the 4 IT4S. I tried putting it in here, and again, when it was okay for a while, but once it got really hot in here, running around, it started to act up. So I didn't want to chance it. You know, I took it out, and I don't run it in my Mugens anymore. Okay, I just run that one there. Now, if you look at my Techno, the reason I never had an issue in it with my Techno, if you look at the Techno, the receiver is in the middle. See where the motor is back here? The receiver's not back here. The receiver's right here. It's away from the motor, so it doesn't get hot here. That's why this one has never, ever gave me an issue. Okay, the receiver in here is the only one that I run from the FS IT4S, this radio. Now, if I do get and I plan on getting another one of these because I really like these radios. If I get another one, I won't run it in a Mugen, just because of the fact of, you know, you can't, that I don't want to have those issues anymore. So anyway, yeah, the throttle went out. So I was like, okay, great. I'm already out here. I'm not gonna, I mean, and it was funny because I was telling Elite that whenever I go out in the field, when I go run my shit, I have a little mini bag of this. It's like, I call it my emergency kit. Everything in here is, anytime that I've ever went and ran my vehicles that I've had, like I lost a body, one of the pins that holds on your body. I've had a hose go out on me. Return springs or rubber bands, certain screws, even the wheel nuts. I've had one that wasn't on tight enough and it came off and I lost it. All the different things that I've had go wrong in the field at one time or another are all inside of here. This is my emergency bag, I call it. So it works. The only thing that I should have had was an extra servo in there, because obviously my servo went out. But anyway, so I'm going, you know, and the good thing about Savbox is you have a year warranty on it. So I'm going to, it's kind of a hassle, but what I do is I go to the company that I got it from. You know, I go on my eBay account, look up when I bought it, which I did, and it was in December when I got that servo. And sometimes the companies will just go ahead and give me another one, you know. I mean, it's a little bit less than 50 bucks. It's less than 50 bucks, that servo. But I've never had issues with that servo in here. These are the same servos as the one that just went out that I run in the Techno, and that I run, I mean, for the steering and for the throttle. And I've had these since I've had the Techno. Never had an issue. Okay? That was the only one that I had still inside of the Mugen on the throttle, and it took a shit on me. So I will be using from now on, even though they're going to send me another one, I use these. These were recommended, not these ones specifically, but this servo company was recommended by Elite. He uses them. There's another one that I'm going to be getting. I actually ordered 2 of them. But these are decent. They're about the same price range as the Savboxes that I run. DC6015. These have, I mean, for the price you pay for them, I've never had any issues with these. They're very torquey. You've got about 350 ounces of torque, which is good enough for recreational use or bashing. If you're racing, you probably want to get a little bit more. And as far as the speed on these things, the speed on these servos are, I think they're at like a 9.5, which isn't, you know, crazy speed, but it's plenty. I'm not racing, so I'm not the guy, because I'm not racing. If I was racing different store, I'm not the guy that's going to go out and spend $150 on a servo. That's just not me. Okay, and I've tried all different types. I thought of Protex. I hear a lot of good things. I know Mr. Roger 111 runs the Protex. He swears by him, and he's used the Hi-Techs and the Savboxes and all that too. Speaking of Roger 111, I mean, look at Roger 111. He was a diehard Losi guy. He retired. I don't know if he retired, but he jumped ship on the Losi on the TLR. Ask him why. He'll tell you why. You know? And he's running Associated. So here's a guy that was a diehard Losi guy, Chuggy and Buggy, got the matching sets still, and he kind of shelved them, and he's running the Associated now. And I remember one time, one thing he did mention to me, because I didn't really just straight out ask him why the switch, but I kind of knew already. He just seen that as far as a racing standpoint, because of, you know, Roger 111 likes to race and does his, you know, racing thing. He just felt, and he knew by personal experience, that the Losi 4.0 Truggy and the Buggy couldn't be competitive enough for him to compete with Mugens and Technos and Kyoshos and X-Rays and Associated. So he bailed out. I don't want to say bailed out, but, you know, he pushed his Losi stuff to the side, and now he's running Associated. And I mentioned to you guys before, and you guys don't know, and some of you guys do know, if not, do your homework again, that Associated is just a copy of Mugen. Matter of fact, I know guys that race for Associated and race Associated, and they'll even tell you that. Guys that race for Associated will even tell you it's a Mugen copy. Okay, I don't think it's a very good one, but, you know, it works, and it wins, and it does well. They call him Divida, David Ungaro, doesn't race Associated because it's not any good. Sure, he's a great driver, but he, you know, won a world. He won the last Worlds with an Associated, you know. And there was Mugen and X-Ray right behind him. And I think it'll be again, you know, the next World's coming up. And the next, you know, this year. So, am I putting Losi down? No, I'm not putting Losi. I'm just giving you facts, that's all. I mean, I feel very confident, and I'm very, very secure and comfortable in the fact that I own, you know, a Mugen that's backed and supported and has all the support from a legend like Adam Drake and a company like Mugen and Techno. So support and parts availability and and you know that it ain't going nowhere, and you know that it's quality, and you know that it wins races, and you know that it's race proven, race inspired, okay? If that stuff matters to you, then you might want to look at these two whips, or Associated, or X-Ray, or Kyosho. Those, in my opinion, are the tops. Mugen, Techno, Kyosho, X-Ray, and Associated. I would say those are the top 5 right now in 8-scale truggy and buggy. Not just in professional winning, but just all around company support. Unfortunately, low shooter can't say that, you know, because of Horizon. That's why I hate Horizon. I can't stand Horizon, you know. And speaking of Horizon, so anyway, that's the, before we get into, I want to share some stuff with you. I want to give you guys a couple of the muggies tricks and tips and stuff to help some of the new guys out, or help anybody out. That's why I do this, to help people out, just to give you the facts. I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and tell you, oh, you know, your RCR is next level, and you know, and all this stuff. The muggy, you know, as you guys know, I get a lot of criticism. I've probably got as many haters out there as I do people that actually appreciate what I do. You know, I keep it real. Like I said, I don't beg nobody to subscribe. You've heard Mr. Zai even say that. I feel the same way. I don't beg you to subscribe. Oh, please subscribe to me, or give me a thumbs up, or, you know, give me some view. I have never said any of that shit. And like Mr. Zai said, that shit's gay. I could care less. I mean, I'm over 200 subscribers right now, and I'm thinking, man, I need to lose about 100. I need to downsize, because I know the majority of them, more than half, guaranteed, are trolls and looky-loos and people that want me to entertain them. That's the reason I really haven't got into the, you know, getting fancy camera equipment, you know, a GoPro or whatever, a head cam. You know, am I ever going to get one? Yeah, eventually. It's just not on my priority list. I'd rather take that money and put it into motors, put it into pipes. You know, I'm not here to entertain anybody. If you don't like my camera work and my shitty, you know, view, you know, the way that I film shit, then you don't have to watch me. Go watch somebody that has a professional setup and that gives you all the highlight reels and gives you all the fancy schmancy, you know, audio effects and all that. Go watch Nitro Nerd, man. That guy's got the state-of-the-art, top-notch video footage. Back music and everything. I mean, sure, yeah, I try to spice it up with, you know, some of my music things. You know, that's when Elite RC was like, hey, what's up with the music thing, man? You trying to get, like, Nitro Nerd? You trying to get fancy or something? I'm like, no. You know, just making it a little bit interesting. So anyway, change the servos, going with JX. I'll let you know. I mean, I ran these JXs before. I really like them. For the price you spend on them. I mean, Savox, if you look at them, they're made in Taiwan. I don't know if you guys know that or not. JXs, they're made in China. Is it like day and night difference? No, but China is better quality than Taiwan. No doubt about that. So I'm going to be running JXs from now on in the Mugen. I'm still going to go with my Savoxes. I'm going to send that Savox in because they're going to give me a brand new one. Whether I'm going to put it in the Mugen after I get it back, probably not. I might just use it as a backup. You know, and I'm going to continue to run these Savoxes that I have in here until something happens, until they go out. You know, hopefully nothing bad happens. I'm kind of nervous now running Savoxes in my shit now. You know, and I know there's a couple people that I talked to, you know, that have Savoxes and they've had them go bad on them. You know, I think that a lot of these companies, Savox, you know, Horizon, these, you know, Traxxas as well, you know, because Traxxas, you know, their shit's garbage. They're just cutting back. I mean, they're looking to, because nitro isn't really huge, anything that has to do with nitro or whatever, you know, not necessarily servos, but everything else, you know, they don't want to put money into it, you know. They'd rather just cut their losses and just go with eword, because people want eword more than they do nitro, which I don't understand. And now I'm not going to get into that because that's a whole other story. It's just people that are lazy, that's all. People are too lazy to roll up their sleeves and get busy and do some wrenching. Okay. So anyway, we're sorry I couldn't get you guys some brapping video. I don't think I'm going to get any tomorrow because I'm going to be busy all day. I'm going to my auntie's house to help her out do some stuff. So anyway, maybe tomorrow late afternoon, I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But I will be getting you something soon. Just hold tight. So, a quick tip. I know there's guys too that have had these go out. Again, we're talking about Horizon. So we're going to get into, I give credit due where credit's due. And I've said in the past, Horizon has great customer service. One of the best. That's one thing, one of the only positive things I can say about Horizon. Everything else, there isn't anything positive to say about them. I love their dynamite products. I have a lot of dynamite stuff. I have a dynamite bump box, which I love. If you want a next level decent bump box that's pretty much identical, except for the adjustments as the Losi bump box, which I'm ordering one of those Losi bump boxes here soon. I'm going to be getting one. It's pretty much the same as this. Just the Losi has a quicker adjustment than this. This one, you have to just loosen up these two screws and move it back, move it. But, I mean, I'm eventually going to have a bump box for each of my whips. I'd rather do that. I don't have to adjust shit. I'd rather just, but the Losi is, Mr. Za. I don't know, I haven't had one yet, but according to Mr. Za, it's the best, one of the best bump boxes out there. You don't have to mess with it. Okay? That dynamite is like I said, except for the adjustment, is the same identical. Because, it's made by, Dynamite, which is owned by Horizon. And the same thing, TLR is made by TLR or Horizon. I don't even know who makes their shit. I think Horizon has a lot to do with the manufacturing now, too. From what I heard. Losi ain't making shit. Dynamite ain't making shit. Hobbyco ain't making shit. Horizon's making the shit. They're not only calling shots, I believe. Now you do your homework. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Horizon is manufacturing or in control of the manufacturing of a lot of this shit. If they can discontinue the 4.0, obviously they're in control of the manufacturing of Losi, Dynamite, and Hobbyco, which is they own too. Oh, by the way, quick side note, I don't know if you guys know this or not, I was doing some research, as the Muggy always does. I like to do my homework. Before I do these videos, I got to make sure that I'm stating facts and not just talking out my ass. Okay? Like a lot of people do. Okay? I'm not going to tell you something unless I know that it's facts. Okay? Fact. You can look it up. Traxxas owns HPI. Doesn't surprise me, but I was like, holy Snikes. That's a damn shame. HPI, you guys know HPI, big company, been around forever. Moved to Europe. I thought somebody in Europe owned it, but Traxxas owns HPI. They own HPI. Look it up. So anyway, Horizon, okay, great customer service. No problem. If you ever have an issue with anything that's through Horizon, they'll take care of you, man. So I give them that credit. That's it. But these I think I've had 2 of these. I'm on my 3rd one. Go out on me. This isn't brand new. I just put it back in the package. Okay, they sent me new ones. But these things, now I don't know if it has to do with the charger, because I know Mr. Zai said, and I agree, take these things, these chargers they come with, toss them out, get one of those squids with all the hookups on it, and run it off a real digital charger. But these do go bad. And I love them. I have one, and it works fine for now, since I replaced it, but these go bad. So, be aware of that, or beware of that. Another thing, these have been around forever, and I love these. And I've told you guys in the past, these are one of my favorite plug wrenches. These things, I've had one strip out. The one that I just got not too long ago, the end, I don't know if you can see it or not. Is this the one that you guys probably won't be able to, I don't know if you can see that. It's cracked. The end's cracked. Right in here. It's got a hairline crack. So I had one strip out, one crack. Now I contacted Horizon. They can't send you those because those come in a kit. So they sent me one of these, and I don't really, these are okay. I don't even hardly use this. I just like the TLR wrench for the fact that it has the little clamps inside of here. So when you go to undo your plug, the little clamps that are in here clamp to your spark plug so you can pull it out. Otherwise, you got to reach in with a pair of pliers or turn upside down or whatever to get your plug out. Okay? Plus it has all the other little, you know, sockets on it, and you can use it as a wheel wrench too. It's a shame, man. I don't know if you guys, I know Mr. Za has tons of these. Maybe the older ones. Just, I mean, I think it's just the quality is just, again, there's Horizon cutting back on the quality of these things and the casting or however they make them. Because I'm pretty sure these are cast. I mean, I deal with metals, as you guys know. I deal in I am in aerospace, industrial aerospace manufacturing, and I deal with metals. And this is cheap metal, and you can just tell. That's why it's one stripped, and this one's cracking. So there you go. There's your Horizon. Cutting corners, putting out bullshit. So, if you own anything connected to Horizon, that's what you got to look forward to. I think it's a damn shame. So anyway, one thing that I do use, I use these. You can get these all over the place. These I've never had any problems with. I mean, this is not, you know, no snap-on quality or anything like that, but it's better than that, than the TLR. Anyway, the only problem is it doesn't have the clamps. So what I did, if you guys can see in there, see that? It's a piece of, you got to find the right gauge. It's a piece of fuel line. You shove it down in there, and what that does, so when you go to put your plug on, the end of the plug goes into that little rubber grommet in there, the hose, and it comes right out. So, little tip for you. Another tip, I'm sure you guys, you know, if you guys have ever lost the little nipple that goes on the end of your fuel bottles, I've lost plenty of them. So what I do, take a zip tie, just like that, put it through, okay, all the way through. Okay, hold on, let me get this. Sorry about that. Don't pull it too tight, because you want to be able to fit it on the end. Take the end here, dab a little bit of glue, crazy glue, whatever. I use the Dynamite tire glue. I have the thin stuff too, which glues quicker. Glue it on the end, bam, there you go. That's what I've done with all of these. See that? Glue it on there, that way, and then you just pull this tight, and you can slide this up and down if you want, or whatever. But, matter of fact, hold on a minute, I'm going to take this one off, which this cap doesn't even belong on here. Sorry about that. And this is the cap that goes on this Venom. Put that on here, and then put this on top, like so. Pull this down, and then just let me set the camera right here. My little camera stops. Camera things, it's not camera friendly right now. Anyway, and then I just tighten it down like that. So now I won't lose my cap. And see, I've done that with, I do that with all my fuel bottles. So that's a little tip for you. Okay. Another thing I wanted to mention too is when you go online to Sabox, what they're going to do, I don't even know if I have it in here, they're going to send you a like a link, and they're going to send you the form, because people have asked me too, what about shipping? You don't have to pay for the shipping. Hopefully you have some kind of printer or something, because they're going to send you the link, and they're going to send you the paperwork that you print out, and that way you can send, you don't have to pay for shipping, because they're going to pay for it, and you can send your your Savox servo back. And that usually takes, I think it took me about less than a week after you get the paperwork back and send it. So, all right, people. So anyway, that's about it. Yeah. So that was the issue that I had. Couldn't get no footage, man. I'm just glad I didn't have a runaway, because, well, like I said, a lot of times when you have servo issues with your throttle servo, that shit can lock up, and there you go, you got a runaway. So that didn't happen, thank God. So we should be good to go. Man, this thing. Oh, I see I got my brake on. Okay. Got to check my mesh, make sure my mesh is good. So the contest, that's what I almost forgot. The contest, you guys heard from the last video. The contest is cleanest next level truggy. Now I'm talking all the upgrades, all the goodies. You know, if you got a modified motor, just throw that shit in there, whatever. I'm going to base it on how my whips are. So whoever has the cleanest, sickest, next level truggy is going to win the contest. And this will go on till, I think I'll do it till the 1st of next month. One thing, like I said, that I'm going to give away, take this down, is one of these. I made these, okay, these stands. I had somebody ask me about them too. They're pretty cool because they fold up, so you can fold them up. So that'll be, you know, for whatever, your truggy or buggy, whatever you have. I'm going to give away one of those. And I'm going to give away one of these stands that I use. They're not, somebody asked me, hey, where'd you get those motor stands? They're not motor stands. They're actually little tiny mini suction cup like vices that I turned into motor stands. It's a company that we have on the West Coast called Daiso. It's basically a Japanese 99-cent store, but most of their stuff's $1.50. It's not even 99 cents, but still, they got a lot of cool stuff in there. And that's why I got those stands too. And so I'm going to give away a bunch of those. Probably give away like half a dozen of those, which is what I put my motors on. And I'm also going to give away some of the Muggy juice. Some of the Muggy Maniacs custom Muggy juice. Alright, people. So, that's what's going on with the Muggy Maniac. So, you know, whether this influences you, like, again, I just want to reiterate that I'm not saying that Losi is a bad vehicle. It's just they're owned by Horizon. That's the problem. That's always been the problem. That's why Adam Drake left. That's why, you know, they kicked him in the nuts. And that's why they continue to kick and will continue to kick all Losi people in the ball sack. Okay, because Horizon doesn't give a shit about anything but making money. And if it ain't doing well, they're going to discontinue it. Okay, they could care less about us. Okay, which sucks. I think it's a damn shame, man. That's why I can't stand Horizon, and I can't stand Traxxas. And Traxxas, that's a whole nother video. So we don't want to get into that. All I got to say about Traxxas is they're not even real RC, period. They're toys. If there was Toys R Us still around, Traxxas, I guarantee you, would be in there. Or they would be in Radio Shack. Radio Shack's not around. Traxxas would be in Radio Shack and Toys R Us right now if those companies are still around. So, anyway, that's all I got, people. I might even run the MBX buggy next because it's already ready to go. I've been kind of multitasking. It's one thing in Nitro you want to try. If you can get good at it, it helps you, multitasking. This one's ready to roll. That one's ready to roll. This one, we just got to secure the radio tray back in there. And it's ready to rock and roll. Hopefully, I'll get you guys some footage in the next couple days. And the XTM. Nothing major going on in the XTM. We're just going to try a different gearing. I'm putting a... you guys can see that I'm putting a 15. Or no, 14. I had a 13 on there. It was just screaming too much. I like the Reds pipe. Keeping that on there. On the MM modded LRP .32. But I'm going to go up a tooth on a 14. See if that'll mellow it out a little bit. If not, I'll go to a 15. We'll see. So anyway, that's what's going on with the Truggy on steroids. My Muggy. Alright, people. That's all the Muggy Maniacs got. Alright. Peace. I'm out. I will catch you guys on the rebound. Oh, and one last thing. If you're not running your shit, make sure you set your piston bottom dead center. Okay? And put some Muggy juice in there. Okay? Put some after run shit in there. Don't leave the piston up in your shit and jack up your motor. Okay? Alright, people. Peace out.